Well, the good news is we're up on YouTube, and I don't see us on Facebook yet. We'll see what happens here. Nope, not yet. We're up on YouTube, that's the good news. There it is. We're up on Facebook. That's the good news. Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Coffee with Casper time. Here's the Casper coming up to get me dirty with his muddy feet. Good morning. Aloha from Hawaii. Good morning. Good morning, good morning. Sending, of course, lots of love to the Maui Island. Yay. Good morning from Arizona. Hey there, engaged man there. Congratulations. Aloha from Honolulu. All right. Good morning from North Carolina. They're checking in from all over. Good morning from Santa Rosa, I'm guessing. Yes, it must have been. Oh, you had a good time at Asilomar. That's wonderful. That's a great experience. Great experience. We were doing family birthdays. August is just loaded. Maui strong. Amen to that, and amen. Well, we're glad to see everybody here this morning. We're going to gong ourselves in right about now. Let me know where you are, where you're checking in from. And we're sending you love wherever you are in the world at the moment. But we are a bunch of gathering light workers. I'm Harry Morgan Moses. You're watching Coffee with Casper. And here we go. Everybody, let's take we're going to take a big deep breath in, and then we're going to let out that sound ah and relax the body as we do. Here we go. Big deep breath in. All right, we're going to do that one more time, remembering now that we're going to bring our energy into our heart center and become fully present as light workers aware in the world. Here we go. Well, it's always interesting. Good morning, welcome. Let me know where you're checking in from. We're glad you're here. There's Boise. All right, Dave and Loretta are in from Boise. Good to see you guys this morning. Well, here's the thing. Miracles are seen in the light, and light and strength are one. That's right out of the Course in Miracles. Miracles are seen in the light, and light and strength are one. You know, you talk about the field of vibration, and each of us are connecting. We're connecting on Coffee with Casper because of a field of vibration in which we're living. Most all of the people watching Coffee with Casper, and if you're new to Coffee with Casper and the language is not something you're tracking easily, first of all, you're here by divine right of consciousness, and second of all, there are plenty of places to learn about the power of your thoughts and feelings and words and the law of the circle, that we have never left the law of the circle. We are connected to life. We are not separate from life. And we have a lot of belief in the separation from life. We have a dropout at my end. I don't know how it's doing at your end. There we go. We're back live. We're good. Okay. So here's what I've been noticing, and what I think is interesting is how, being a light worker, we are tuning ourselves into other light workers that are vibrating near us, and comments are all very similar. So it's just interesting to me that I wake up, or I put an intention out there in the universe to find out what we're going to talk about on Coffee with Casper, and then I see that it's something that's known in the field. And this is the I am presence within each one of us. I am that light that came from the light that put on a coat of skins, that shall return to the light, that does not remember all of the glory of the I am that I am, but my soul nature, my I am consciousness does. And as Meister Eckhart said, it's gazing at the glory of God while I'm busy listening as it's trying to direct the senses, yeah? So here's what's happening in the world. If we look right now, we see challenges in Africa, fights over force and power. We see trouble in the Ukraine and Russia. We see trouble in South America. We see trouble in the U.S. We've seen trouble with cartels and hurricanes and tropical storms and fires in Hawaii and earthquakes. We had a tropical storm and an earthquake just the other day. Some places affected more than others, praise God. We were not deeply affected, just water, and no flooding of any kind in our place. Now, it did happen elsewhere in Southern California and, of course, wherever else that path of the tropical storm went, including Arizona and other states as well as it went inland. So no one is, the rain falls on the just and the unjust alike, right? That we know that. But there is a law of transcendence, a law of vibration, which keeps us safe, which keeps us separated. Good morning from Hollywood, and the good Reverend Angelica Jane from Eureka. Good to see you all this morning. So when we look at the world events, and if you're paying attention, you see all of this going on in the world. It looks like the world is going to hell in a handbasket, as they say. And I often say, if the world is going to hell in a handbasket, that means somebody's carrying it there, and you and I are not doing that. We are participating in a transcendent place, in a place where we stand for unity consciousness, where we stand for the fundamental law of the universe, which is harmony, and we call that law into our lives in a daily basis. I'm calling the law of harmony heaven's first law, as Judge Howard said. Heaven's first law is the law of harmony. We know that because eternity goes on forever. If there was anything that could interrupt eternity, then there would be a duality. And there isn't. There is only the participation in that separation consciousness, which believes that we are separate and that things are not interconnected. And you and I know that all things are interconnected. Had the great opportunity, I've never really been what do you call that, somebody who's a fan, who follows we just had the big concert, right? Swifties, there are Swifties, right? People who follows Taylor Swift. Well, I've been enjoying a band for 25 years or so. Good morning, Daz. Nice to see you. I guess you're in North Hollywood. Nice to see you this morning. I've been following a band called Venice, and they do a song called Think Again. They've done this song for many years. And it's, don't tell me how it's got to be. There's no rules about how it has to be. Think again. So you and I are at that place where we can look at the news, we can look at the events of the world, and we can think again. We can call forth the law of harmony into our lives. We can call forth that I am guided, guarded, protected, directed, and led into the paths of perfect right action, because we know that the I am consciousness is doing exactly that. It's leading us into the paths of perfect right action and is inviting us to be a stand in the world where peace is happening. So today, I'm inviting all of us who are the light workers in the world to make a stand within our awareness for peace, so that we become a place that is inviting peace, that is an attractor factor for peace wherever we go. When we look at the events of the world and we look at the upset and the injustice and the incommunication and the lack of willingness to compromise and all of that is not necessary, because in an infinite field of possibilities, there must always be a solution, because the possibilities are infinite. If what we've looked at so far, what we tried so far isn't working, it doesn't mean solution doesn't exist. It just doesn't mean we have not opened ourselves to it yet. We have not found it yet. However, this is what we do know. Oh, Alejandro, nice to see you this morning. Good morning, good morning. There's our warrior for peace. Right there is our martial artist who stands for a greater good all the time. And that's what it is. That's what it is. What was our old Teddy Roosevelt said, speak softly but carry a big stick. We can be the peace warriors of our time. We can be the place where transcendence is happening. And here's what we know. The amount of people on the planet that are completely aware of unity consciousness is a small percentage compared to the amount of the masses who are still confused by the idea of separation, the idea that we're birthed and left separate. We are never separate from creation. We are never separate from the cause of creation. We are the Alpha and the Omega encapsulated hologram. Just like the universe is the Alpha and the Omega, we are that too. But we are a small piece, and our awareness has not opened up into the grandness of who we are. It was the Ralph Waldo Emerson line, which we've shared here before. If you but knew who you were, the universe and the stars could not hold you, right? This is the glory of the I Am that is my true and eternal nature. We have to believe in that in ourselves, and we have to believe in the victory of unity consciousness. Unity consciousness is what is transcending and what is necessary, even though we allow ourselves to be to have the quadrants of life in order and see them growing and prospering and getting better. Health, wealth, love, and fulfillment are our birthright. And they're happening in us and as us and through us right now. Except if we put our attention on that which is disruptive, on that which is non-peaceful, on that which is duality, then the appearance of duality will continue to show up. However, there are enough light workers on the planet, that's you and me, people who know there is one life. That life is the life of the One. It is whole, complete, and perfect. It has birthed itself into creation and recreated itself as the son and daughter of the Most High, which is you and me, right? It has created itself as an opportunity to be the place of transcendent. That which transcends chaos, that which transcends the roughness on the surface of the water, that which calls on the depths and heights of the glory of the divine self, the I am that I am, and calls it forth into expression in my life today. Right? So, one does not want to, it's never a good idea to brag about how the universe loves me so much and appears not to love you. If you are aware that the universe loves you and that the universe is guiding, guarding, protecting, directing, and leading you into the paths of perfect right action, it is not something to flaunt, it is something to honor. And to honor it through our prayers and meditations, through our silencing, through our becoming in tune. So, for example, our wonderful friend, the Reverend Dr. Ken Gordon, and his wife, Dr. Deb Gordon, were involved in the fires in Kelowna. They got very, very close to their home. And 10,000 people in that town got evacuated, and they remained safe. They remained safe by going back inside to the highest God and the innermost God, the place of the I am that I am, calling that light of divine protection into their lives and counting on it, knowing that that power and presence was with them and for them no matter what the circumstances, and yet their house is intact. They did not have to evacuate, and now they're participating in helping the recovery of the town of Kelowna. We're in the same situation here. You can see here around me in Topanga and our property, we did fine. We did not have any major issues through the tropical storm. However, other places in Los Angeles did have issues. In Los Angeles County and San Diego County did have issues, and Riverside County. And we extend our compassion to all of those places, but also knowing that the power of divine light is transcendent of the surface conditions, right? And that's what you and I are doing. We are learning to be masters of the all good, to be masters of the law of good that says good and more good is mine. There's no limit to that good. To be masters of the idea that white light covers and surrounds us and nothing but good can come to us. right? We become the place where we hold that position, not because we are better than anybody else, but because we're using our awareness of the gift of divinity, of the gift of divine protection, of the gift of divine love, of the gift of the awakening Atman, Christ, Buddha of my own self, and allowing it to come into expression in our lives, yes? And that's what we're asked to do in the midst of what looks like all of this stuff coming up in the world. You know, we don't like the analogy, but I bring it forth. When a teenager is going through a change of their body and there's a lot of eruption, and that eruption comes up as acne, what it really is the body cleansing itself from its childhood perspective and coming into a new adolescent perspective, and that change brings an eruption of type. Well, that's kind of what's happening in the world itself. We had a world completely asleep to the power of consciousness, the power of our thoughts and feelings and emotions, and therefore not as Mary Baker Eddy said, not standing porter to the door of our thought and letting our thought dwell on the fears and dwell on the dangers and dwell on the upset and dwell on the sadness and pain in the world. Whereas our job is not to go down low and dwell there, but to go up high and call in the light. To call in the light of love, the light of divine protection, the light of wisdom, the light of peace, the light of poise, the light of harmony, the light of joy. Joy is the infallible sign of the presence of the divine, right? We are the place where we're bringing forth this awareness. We must be the place where we fall in love with the light, that we fall in love with the light so much that we're calling it into form no matter what the vibration is around us. And, of course, the nature of that vibration is that you will attract and be aligned with and in the circumstances of joy where you're attracting other light workers and you see other people and their deep caring for the world and the deep extending of compassion for the sadness and the violence and the war and the unnecessary behaviors that humanity brings upon itself, without condemning humanity, but calling on its greatness, calling on the greatness of the I am that I am to rise up and shine its light in me and as me and through me into all who touch the arena of my experience. And we have to hold ourselves up to it. We have to hold ourselves to the place where we don't become reactive, where we don't meet fire with fire, that we turn the other cheek and we meet fire with love. I wish for you the best and only the best. Somebody says, well, I hope something bad happens to you because of... No, if somebody does that, then you say, well, I wish only good unto you, and I release you to your highest good. As my friend, the Reverend Dr. O.C. Smith said, I love you and I bless you, but I will not be with you if you're going to hang out in the fire of anger and separation and duality and revenge, all of those things which have proven themselves not to work. What's the great line from Martin Luther King? I believe that unarmed truth and unconditional love will have the final word. I believe that unarmed truth and unconditional love will have the final word. You know, and that's what we're talking about. Ernest Holmes had another way of saying that we must have spiritual thought that is so filled that we trust the integrity of the universe and that we know sooner or later all things will be made right. And hey, the Reverend Michelle from San Diego, good to see you. Good morning, Yvonne, nice to see you. So we are the people, the right people at the right time, doing the right thing in order to bring more love, more light into the world. You and I, and this is what today is all about, we are the transcendent ones. We must allow that transcendence to come into our life, to allow the blessings in our lives to magnify and magnify and magnify. The greater good that we have, we are robbing no one of their good. We are inviting everyone to receive their good also. There is no limit to the amount of good the universe has. There's no limit to the amount of solutions the universe has. There is no way eternality will stop being eternal. And we are inviting that into our lives, for our family, for our friends, for our children, for our grandchildren, and for posterity itself. We are making a stand for the unity of all life, for the laws, the transcendent laws that bring forth, transform that which has been pain and suffering into joy and bliss. I am the place where transformation is happening today. You are that place. So your attitude of gratitude, your attitude of acceptance, your attitude of willingness to receive more, your attitude to bring forth blessings and spread those blessings, this is what's bringing more light upon you. The the brighter your light shines, the brighter the light will shine for all humanity. I'm Harry Morgan Moses. You're watching Coffee with Casper. We'll be back next week. If you found anything valuable in this video, as we have said for more than 3.5 years, if you find anything valuable in our time together, share the video. Share it in your electronic medium. Share it on Facebook. Go to YouTube. Like, follow. Bless it. Multiply it. Bring it forward. Click on it. Let's bring more people together in the light, as the light, and with the light. So my friends, it's my honor and privilege to be with you in this day, as it is in all the days that we gather. May this day and this week make you the most powerful warrior for the goodness of peace and love in the universe, a stand for the attraction of a greater good in your life and the lives of all who touch your life. You deserve your good. There's no limit to it. You deserve your blessings because you're a light worker. You spent eons of time to get here, to be this aware, to bring this light into the world. We'll be back next week on Coffee with Casper. And until we meet again, we invite you to go in the light, as the light, and with the light. May the long-time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide you on your way. I'm Harry Morgan Moses. We'll see you next week on Coffee with Casper. Bye for now.